conference coordinator.
Good afternoon. My name is Sanskriti Pathania, and I'm honored to serve as one of the conference coordinators. And to officially open this year's Qatar Leadership Conference, I would like to welcome the Deputy Head of Mission of the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Qatar, Mr. T. Sundal.
Done.
Where is it working?
This is it. This is a presentation.
Mr. Sundal, the floor is yours.
This is it.
You can do view, put side by side gallery. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. I joined a little bit late. It's the old people and technology issue. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Apologies. I was goofing around with the links, but I'm very happy. I just heard from a colleague that I was introduced already. So I think this awkward silence was because I didn't start speaking and was sort of blankly staring at everybody. But let me first introduce myself. My name is T. Sundal. I'm the Deputy Head of Mission at the Dutch Embassy. It's a real pleasure to be here. I was scrolling through the attendees, and it brings me great joy to see so many participants here at Thymon's Qatar's annual leadership conference. I did the welcoming remarks 2 years ago, and it saddens me a little bit that we can't meet in person, but nonetheless, very happy to see so many of you virtually. I won't take up too much of your time, but just want to say a few words. As you know, Thymon is the acronym for the Hague International Model United Nations. As the Dutch Deputy Head of Mission, I'm very thrilled that Thymon has a special connection with our country, the Netherlands, with the Dutch Embassy in the state of Qatar and the city of The Hague, known as the City of International Peace and Justice, and home to the International Peace Palace and the International Court of Justice. Let me first start by thanking Qatar's Leadership Conference for your important work in developing education for advocacy, diplomacy, and leadership. And these are the three themes I want to come back to in my few short introductory remarks. Advocacy, diplomacy, and leadership are of the utmost importance in today's world. These days, when you open any news app, old people like me still open a newspaper, the actual paper ones. But when you open a news app, you'll be confronted with many of the challenges that our world is facing, from the nefarious effects of climate change in the form of extreme droughts or floods, to the prevalence of debilitating poverty, to security and economic crises like the ones we're witnessing in Afghanistan and in Ethiopia. And I think one of the reasons why these challenges are so difficult to solve is their transnational nature. Take climate change as an example. Its effects do not stop at national borders, while civil conflict in one country often leads to refugee flows that can impact the stability in neighboring countries. While you, future leaders, are meeting this week in Doha, another set of leaders, world leaders, are meeting in Glasgow for the COP26 climate conference to discuss measures to limit the devastating effects of climate change. And I think the issue of climate change is one where the values of advocacy, diplomacy, and leadership come together. First, advocacy. it's really heartening to see that young people play a really instrumental role in advocating for some of these important issues. Young people like Greta Thunberg have been instrumental in advocating the need for more forceful action on climate change. We've seen thousands of high school students take to the streets in the Netherlands and in other countries to pressure their leaders into upping their commitments to combat climate change. Early in the week, 26-year-old Elizabeth Wathuti from Kenya gave a very inspiring speech at the COP26 conference, where she called upon world leaders to open your hearts to those already feeling the effects of climate change. One of the painful aspects of climate change is that least developed countries with some of the world's lowest CO2 emissions are most vulnerable to climate change. While at the same time, countries are not always interested in taking decisions that may jeopardize their economic growth objectives. And I think these factors really underline the importance of diplomacy and of diplomatic skills. And to me, that means engaging in dialogue. It means empathy. It means the ability to place yourself in someone else's shoes. And I think young people are blessed with these traits and are therefore really important for these discussions. And thirdly, tackling climate change also requires leadership, the third tenet that Simon stresses. And to me, leadership means, among other things, developing a long-term vision, not just what's good for this year, what's good for economic growth this year, what's good to get reelected, but developing this long-term vision, listening to different voices, right? Avoiding groupthink, challenging your own assumptions, and inviting people with different points of view, so you take all voices into account when making a decision, and also taking responsibility, right? That's something I think the world needs more of as well. And I think young people are really a critical voice in this debate about climate change and other global challenges, because young people are tomorrow's leaders. And I know that sounds a little bit like a cliche, but I think it's very important. So in the coming days, you'll get a lot of opportunity to discuss these challenges in depth, form your own UN, and think of new innovative ways to address the many challenges our world is facing. I think this week will be filled with many opportunities to learn, to develop, to grow, and I hope it gives you a new perspective on things. I hope it gives you inspiration, and I also, frankly, hope you make new friends virtually, and hopefully that will lead to some lasting friendships that can result in real-time meetings as well. So I really hope this conference can serve as a platform to create the change our world desperately needs. I would like to encourage you to learn more about the issues you're passionate about, meet new friends, grow your skill sets, and continue your work making change. I hope you will enjoy these next few days of the Qatar Leadership Conference, that you will soak up all the information you can, and that you have an opportunity to connect with new people that challenge your assumptions and that lead to new insights. I'm very excited to one day see the innovations and solutions you came up with, and I wish you all a very productive and fun conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sondal, for that wonderful speech. I'm extremely proud to be here on this extraordinary day, which serves as a reminder to everyone of what students are capable of, what you're capable of, and the incredible potential every one of you here has. But also as a reminder that this is a starting point of a long and difficult road ahead. There is no doubt that as a human race, we are far away from where we would like to be. Our planet is hurtling at a terrifying rate towards climate catastrophe. Wars and violence plague every region, hunger, corruption, poverty, and that's just scratching the surface. And yet, as I look on today, I am filled with a single overwhelming feeling: hope. You, the leaders of tomorrow, that's what gives me hope. It gives me hope that this conference was brought to life by students, student executives, student admins, student press, IT, presenters, and participants. It gives me hope that my generation is a well-learned, well-spoken, peaceful, yet powerful generation. It gives me hope to know that the future is in our hands, and we are more than capable of fulfilling our generation's mission. And yet, I'm not claiming that our mission is easy. It's not. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort and passion and devotion. But what's more important and more difficult is that it's going to take a great deal of resilience and leadership. The QLC at its core is a skill building conference and a promoter of student leadership. Don't think of this as just the opening ceremony of the QLC. Think of this as the moment you begin your mission as student leaders. Take what you learn in these next 3 days and take it back to your communities to make a difference. You will be surrounded by so many amazing people and infinite opportunities. Esteemed guests, honorable ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 10th Annual Qatar Leadership Conference.
I would now like to welcome the head of Thyman Qatar, Ms. Fatima Al Mahdi.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Aldana, may you stop screen sharing for a moment, please? Welcome to the QLC youth participants, your educators, administrators, and honored guests. I'd like to thank you for taking the first steps of leadership by attending this conference, which is a platform for youth voice and a safe space for you to learn and explore and be inspired from your peers as well as world leaders in their fields. Your questions are going to be very important over the next few days. Your questions are our questions, so please make sure you speak up in the workshops. This is very much a space for leadership, not a space for hiding and being afraid. Take that first step in this year's QLC. I'd like to thank our executive teams, Aldana Salati, Ali Fakhru, Hamdan Dar, Ibrahim Bilal, Sanskriti Parathia, and Lamia Adam, who had to leave us a month ago for medical care. I'd also like to thank the executive admin team, led by Noura Al-Kuwari, Maryam Al-Hajri, and Zaina Mahmoud. And a final thank you to the press team, led by Alia Al-Asmakh. Thank you to the presenters, to the Thyman Qatar team, and thank you to each of you for being with us here today. Please do use this conference to build your contact bases. In this online world, we have found a way to connect you each to each other, not just through the workshops, but also through the speed networking sessions. Our framework in the QLC is leadership as service. I hope the next few days show you a place where you can develop your leadership as service. Good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Fatima, for that wonderful speech. We will be running QLC online this year as well due to the pertaining COVID restrictions. As you are all aware, QLC will be running from the 4th of November till the 6th of November. The detailed schedule is on our website as well as the QLC platform. All the workshops and networking sessions will be held online via Zoom, and the meeting details for the same can be found on the specific channels on the platform. You will be able to talk to the participants and the presenters pre or post conference using either the discussion option limited to individual sessions or the note passing room open for everyone. On our platform, you will have everything that you may require during the QLC, like your sessions information, Zoom links, schedule, etc. If you are facing any technical difficulties, you can hop on to our IT help desk, the link for which is embedded in the IT help desk button on the platform's top right corner. The button next to that is for general announcements. In case you cannot log in and need technical help, you can click on the IT help desk button on the login page as well. Once you have logged in, please click the workshop tab on the left bar to view your selected workshops. Click on the session 1 workshop and click show to see it. Then click on the meeting room icon to join the Zoom room. For more information about QLC, you can click the About tab or visit the website. This is about every logistical element you will be needing during these 3 days at QLC.
All presenters and participants will receive a certificate for their participation in QLC. A day or two after the conference, you'll receive an email from a site called Accredible on the email which you used to register for the conference. In this email will be a link which will take you to the site. Once on the site, you will have access to your certificate and be able to download them, as well as view recordings of the workshops that you attended. All articles and press material can be found on the QLC website after the conference.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ali Fakhro, and I will be serving as the head of student engagement for this year's conference. My role is to ensure that the conference, especially a virtual one, will have high levels of engagement from the participants. This year, we included conference-wide engagement activities which will take place in each session. We also have speed networking sessions scheduled after sessions 2 and 4. Click the session that you are most interested in and join the Zoom room. You will be placed into breakout rooms and introduce yourself to 10 people. and each of them will be sharing your interests. And I would now like to welcome our next speaker. She was listed as one of the BBC's most influential and inspirational women of 2017. She's also a fellow Education Above All youth advocate and an amazing content creator. Please welcome Ms. Nawal Akram.
Thank you Ali for introducing me, and also thank you very much for QLC honorees and attendees for being here and giving your time to listen to me talk. Anyway, thank you to all. Like, it's amazing seeing the amount of the students we have on the call right now. So thank you so much for giving your time towards the community and towards all of us. So I wanted to start. I have started disability advocacy when I was 14 years old, and starting at 14 years old, advocating for people with disabilities to get education in Doha and in the region. And what I have learned since that, the reason I have come so far is from allies, right? I have parents that were my allies who are willing to listen to like my concerns, and then that went to schools. We help schools educate about accessibility, about the importance of inclusion in the region. And ever since then, what I have realized that that the underrepresentation of people with disabilities grow. We're in the world, we're in the generation that's the most connected, yet we're the most far apart. And within that, people with disabilities are underrepresented, from education to even to climate change. We're underrepresented in topics that affect us the most. And we need to realize that people with disabilities are the 15% of the world. We are not a charity cause. The 15% of the world are your neighbors, your classmates, your work fellows, and even contributing to economies. People with disabilities have contributed to the world, to education, to arts, to music. And to thus increase that capability, we need a world that accommodates people with disabilities with full integration. Thus we need, and how does the youth and the community come in? That we need you to be involved in your communities, to be aware. Are people with disabilities in your community have the right to study? Are they protected from discrimination? Are they having the equal opportunity to earn, study? Oh, I'm so sorry. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I just wanted to contribute that that you as the youth are, as cheesy as it sounds, you are the future leaders. We have been really let down by the past generation, and we're making sure that people with disabilities are represented in every sphere of life. Every table that talks about any right, whether it's the right to education, study, work, or contribute in any part of society, people with disabilities should be on the table. With the recent topic around climate change affects people with disabilities more. The effects of climate change affects people with disabilities the most, as they're not represented in accessible shelters, disaster risk management, and even if their devices like wheelchairs or brailers or canes get destroyed during these climate effects, it leaves them in a very vulnerable situation. And thus also the effects of climate change creates disabilities. Thus we need to move forward in a world where if someone does end up having a disability, they're integrated as normal as everyone. We wouldn't treat anyone differently because of their skin color, because of their gender. So why not that on disability? Thus, I hope that when you go into your community, regardless of whatever you do, you keep people with disabilities in your mind, and to make sure that people with disabilities will be represented in every sphere of life around you. And I want to take this time to launch my Equal Access campaign. I have done campaigns throughout since I was 14 years old for people with disabilities and or even mental health or cancer awareness. I wanted to create an initiative that would be inclusive to all people with disabilities and from all spheres of life. So thus creating the campaign is to spread awareness and also educating the community to be involved in their countries and their communities to make sure people with disabilities are also having equal access and treatment for all region-wide to have the right to study, work, and be integrated, to have every chance to contribute to their economies and into innovation. I would like to ask if you want to give your words of what you want your community to do for people with disabilities. You can tweet for the hashtag Equal Access QA and share out your thoughts on Twitter or Instagram, and we'll be looking forward to your support. Yeah, that's pretty much. I really hope that you, as a youth, and even if you're not the youth and you're in this call, I hope that you make sure your colleagues, your neighbors, or anyone around you that has people with disabilities are receiving their rights. And people with disabilities cannot achieve their full rights without the community being involved. Thank you so much for giving me your time. And I hope to see you throughout this conference.
Thank you, Ms. Nawal, for that wonderful speech. This now brings us to the end of the opening ceremony. I hope you have enjoyed our keynote and guest speakers, carefully listened to the activities to come, and I sincerely wish that you will take advantage of the opportunities that will present themselves in the coming days. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare the 10th Annual Qatar Leadership Conference officially open. Please make your way to your first session. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, we'll see you all in your workshop rooms, folks. Let's shut
Thank
this
you, Aldana. Thank you, Fatima. Really good to see you both.
You stayed, TS. We're so pleased. Thank you once again for opening our ceremony for us. It doesn't make any
course.
sense at the Dutch Embassy.
Of course, anytime. All right. See you all in some of the sessions.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Everyone, thank you. Bye-bye.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to ask, how could I access my first session?
So if you log into the website with your login information, you can see on the sidebar your workshops. So all the ones you signed up for, you can find. So you'll be able to find it there. It's the bar on the left-hand corner. It says workshops, and you'll be able to see your first session.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
No worries.
Guys, if you are here as participators, you should be going to your rooms because the opening ceremony is done right now.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, is someone there?
Who?
Hamad, what are you doing on here?
Just like I said, I'm having difficulty finding my first session.
Me too.
We are, Miss, we already discussed this.
Hi guys, I'm the admin. If you guys are having difficulties joining your sessions, you can join the IT help desk.
Right,
Okay, thank you.
okay. That's another Zoom meeting, right?
It's on the website. It's on the platform on the top right. You can find IT help desk. If you press on the button, it's going to take you to the Zoom immediately.
Okay,
So we
thank you.
don't come
Thank you
back
for
here.
that.
We exit here.
Yeah, you exit. We're done. The opening ceremony finished.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome.